Good morning. I know I was supposed to do this last night, but it was a long day with the kids. You guys know how it is when you are raising these beautiful, busy babies. So, first up, thank you if you are joining the replay gang. I remember I said earlier in the week that I was going to be sharing a interesting story from my life, and I was able to join Braylon's Tourist and Glam Rocks for a review of Never Ever Met from OWN. And during our review, we were actually sharing some of our stories. Thank you, as always, for showing support. Let me tell y'all, these creators work hard. If you have a favorite creator you support, please make sure you pass by their channels, like, subscribe, share their content. They work really hard. So I'm going to go ahead on and do a quick replay of the live that I did earlier in the week. So if you have any questions about any of the information I share, everything that you will see is me on screen presenting with the other two creators. It is a wild story, y'all. Getting married to somebody you met online is quite the interesting thing. So without much ado, let's get to it.
Let me add me back to the stage. And so I can figure out. Braylon.
It start out as sinners. All the saints start out as
So all of us here is single.
Yes, I'm single. Yeah.
all right. So let me see.
How long you been single, Braylon?
I've been single for
Passed away. She the new.
Well, hey, why don't you play the Xbox? I'm like, dude, I can't. All right, give me a second because I don't know why I can't hear it. Okay, I am trying. What is. Oh, there it is. Figured it out. Sorry. All right. Yeah, we had a little technical difficulties at the beginning of the stream. I had muted. All right, got the stream working. All right, so now I can present. Here we go. Sorry about that. I don't know why I didn't. Things happen. Sorry, loves. Here we go.
I gotta figure out how. I don't know how to pin it. Braylon.
So this is
Oh,
not like
girl.
an avatar or a voice. When you hear this story, this is a real human who got college degrees, got kids, got a mama and a daddy, both living. Praise God for that. So I'm a real person that got by the internet. Unto God. Here we go.
Girl.
How about my
Girl, let's get into it. What you said, you can always share the code by clicking invite guests from your menu.
yeah?
Oh
When you
wow.
look at the bottom of your menus and your settings, I stream you on too. You click the invite guest, or you go into your settings and the link come up. But anyway,
Look at y'all.
we'll do SEO, we'll do SEO tutorials later. Good.
Girl,
So
yes, ma'am.
everybody, I'm not like I found it out a long time ago. Like I'm just not. And so what happened was it was 2004 in the before times, and I
Wow.
was
Where you
on
from?
Texas. I'm from Houston, and
Okay,
I
I
was
was gonna say you got an accent.
yes. So I'm a
Okay.
brand new teacher. Just got out of school. Just helped my mom bury her husband
Wow.
that past summer. And so I move out, but I'm coming home every weekend checking on mama. And she going through some craziness because you know when people die, everybody echo.
Girl.
So
Funerals and weddings, baby. Funerals and weddings.
all you got to do is get knocked up or knocked off, and you will find out exactly how people act. Promise.
I'm telling you. Thank you, Braylon.
Let me tell you, Braylon was one of the first person my grandmother transitioned, as I was telling you earlier in the year. So like I would be late at night with the hospice care, you sitting around, there's nothing you can do.
Oh
And
wow. Oh,
as hard as your loss and as sudden and tragic as your loss was, I wouldn't wish you as a mom to have to go through what we went through for 67 days. Nah, you wouldn't want to do that, sis.
thank you so much. You know what? That was gives me peace. I said, God did what
Every
He
day.
wanted to do, because I think if I had to be the one to deal with the plug, um, I, I don't know.
Man,
I
you
don't
don't
know.
want that. 67 days we had to watch
It
every
was
day.
hard because
Wait.
even going to identify my son's body, like I didn't want to do it. Like I listen, it was hard.
So
So,
thankfully, we're survivors, and I just want to give a shout out to all the angels and ancestors. Your angel, that's your angel ancestor on your shoulder, mine and on my shoulder. They give us the strength. Yeah, the days and the tears along. I had my first dementia appointment with my dad today, so 2024
oh,
is not finished kicking my can yet. Not quite. I'm trying to you keep you
yes,
monetized, sis. Look, so I'm gonna keep it
we'll
all the
pray
way.
for each other because I in the clinic where I manage, I supervise at a clinic, and we deal with a lot of dementia. I had one that just swung at me. I
Yeah.
know it ain't easy.
Oh Lord.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he went off on me today behind his insurance and Medicaid. Baby, I don't work for the government or the people that's taking their money out your account every month, sir. I'm just trying to talk nice to him, okay?
Happy say he want all his money. You hear me?
If she don't have it right with the right provider on that card, then I'm just gonna leave. No, sir, you are not. You are not going
Lord
Oh,
anywhere.
help.
Please sit down. I'm gonna talk.
hi, Braylon.
Hey,
It's
hey,
my book,
hey.
and for the record, his actual title is "Lustfully Wholesome Heathen Respectfully
Oh
Lord
my
help.
goodness.
Lord help
Media
me.
Special."
Lord help me. See now I'm gonna go on tour live tomorrow at 11 a.m. I'm gonna have to explain that I am a loving, kind, and gracious individual with no heathen tendencies at all after this.
Listen, you go
Lord,
whoever you date, you got to bring it through her. Okay.
clearly I have a whole village of aunties and uncles that are like, listen, we're gonna have to take care of this for you because you go in places that we don't got time for bullshit. So
So Braylon, you want a
I
church
understand
girl?
that. It wouldn't hurt. You know what I mean? They always say be equally yoked. I have the fear of the thick pastor's daughter because I know my mouth and I know how blunt I am. I don't have those comebacks. You know what I mean? So if the father's like, so what's the greatest thing you're thankful for? Well, I'm thankful for my mouth because it can do many things. I don't need her to say, yes, it is blessed. I don't need her then to say, yes, it's blessed and highly favored. Would you shut your ass up?
Oh,
Damn.
That's why he has a vetting team.
You know what I mean?
that's why he got y'all.
But then you know what's funny though? The fear that you have sometimes really is a fear that only you have because in reality, most people hopefully have an actual personality. Because the brother may be like, well, if his mouth is blessed and highly favored, how the hell did we get here? If the
Lord.
son, if the pastor's son says that, then at that point I'm in the family, because
Oh my
everybody has
goodness.
that soul. But
Right.
All
that's
the
we're
saints
not gonna
start
have.
out as sinners. All the saints start out as
So all of us here is single.
Yes, I'm single. Yes,
How long you been single, Braylon?
I've been single for quite a while. Quite a while.
Braylon.
A couple years.
2, 3, 4. You don't make me do you like these patients.
I done plot themselves and expose they undesirableness on that man they
uh,
love.
My
Too.
legs is swollen. How
I've
long,
been
man? For a few weeks, man. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
no, I've been single for like about maybe a year or so.
Braylon, you can remember that. Get out of here.
No, I mean,
Trying to carry the one and add the two on the one at the club that you don't remember about. Then it was probably been one in the Bermuda, Bahamas somewhere. Like it might have been in international waters. He's not trying to count her either. See, that's what he was over there trying to do. He wasn't that he was lying. He just couldn't quite remember what category he carried the two in.
So how
that
long you
part.
have been single?
5 years and celibate and single for 5 years.
Yeah, girl, I was doing that too. And even though it actually is 7 years in total, um, I was abstaining for 7 years, but I dated for two of those, the last two. So, so girl, let's talk about this husband.
So it's 2004. I move out of my apartment in May, and my new apartment is going to be ready for the new school year in August. So I got like 8 weeks to chill on
Yay!
somebody's couch. So I go chill on my best friend, this guy. He has an Xbox. Yeah, he has an Xbox. That's where this is going. And during the day, he's at work, and I'm at home because I'm a teacher, but I don't have no job right now because it's the summer. He's like, "Well, hey, why don't you play the Xbox?" I'm like, "Dude, I can't shoot and do all this other stupid stuff or whatever." And like, we just would sit there. He would play the game. We would drink. You know, it was like college. We're 20 somethings. We don't have no kids. You know, we kicking it. We might go to the club, whatever. And like I said, I just need somewhere to crash during the week. So he's like, well, hey, you play cards. Like, you're really good at cards. Why don't you play spades and Uno and dominoes? Like, you play regular stuff. I was like, oh, yeah, I can play that. So I did. I started playing cards and I met a guy. Well, in the evenings when my friend would come home, he would want to play his own machine. So after about a month of us trying to decide our schedule in the evenings, like it was cool during the day and I was home. And then like if I went to bed about 11, it was cool because he could have it. But like we had to figure out that like 7 to 11. And he was like, why don't you give me your phone number, shorty? He's from Chicago. And I'm gonna call you. And so I was like, cool, all right. So August comes around, I get my own apartment. It's Labor Day's coming up. He's like, yo, sure, I'm gonna fly down and I meet you. At the time, he's living with his mom and he also has custody of his son. So I'm a school teacher. It's my first, second year teaching. I'm thinking like, hey, this is a nice guy. He's got like a 2 year old. You know, I don't have any kids, but I'm not against it. I spend all day with kids. Cool. His mom drops into the airport. Like I'm on the phone with him, like as she's dropping him off. I hear the baby in the background. We're all kicking. She literally tells me as she's dropping him off to the airport, you make sure you send my baby back exactly the way I'm sending him to you. I say, Miss, I got him. All I wanted to tell her, I was being respectful of my elders because I'm already getting to heaven on the buddy pass. Like I'm a old lordy member of the Heaven Brigade. Like I'm just trying to get there. I want to say, ma'am, I'm a lover, not a fighter. I promise. All I'm gonna do is send him back with a smile. You can keep him. He gets to Houston on a Friday. We kick it. We go out. Saturday, he calls his mom. She don't answer. Sunday, we don't go to church. We get up late. His mom usually go to church. She tries to call her. She don't answer. But his grandmother calls. It's like, hey, your mom's not feeling well. Um, where are you? And he's like, man, y'all know I went to Houston. I'll be back in a week. Like, why y'all tripping? And because he had already been through some trouble and he kind of been out in the streets a lot, he done forgery checks. He was a wild guy. But I didn't know all this at the time. Like he's just
Girl, I'm about to say he about to get you some fair time.
Mhm. Yeah, so like he was just a cool guy that plays really good cards, and like we clicked instantly. Like we would run the tables, and then once we got our phone numbers, we could cheat and stuff. So like we was getting all these achievements. He was all happy about this. So he comes to Houston that Sunday. Like we can't get in touch with his mom, and like I said, she made the joke like you make sure you send him back, and I'm like, yeah, miss, I got you. I'm sending back on Saturday. Like you drop him off on Friday, I'm sending back on Saturday. She died that Sunday.
What?
So we don't find out till that Tuesday. It's a whole horrible story that happens between him and his family. Like that's them people. But when I finally find out on Tuesday when I get home from work, um, I have to go in Wednesday. Like this is my second year on this job, and tell him I'm going to be leaving from Houston, Texas, to drive to Chicago, Illinois. Because if I don't do that, because remember his ticket is until Saturday. If he flies back on his original ticket, he's going
Girl,
to be
you gotta go back to work.
So I'm just praying people don't fire me while I'm out here on the highways and byways of America. And I drive. This is back in the days when you had to print out MapQuest. I
Girl.
go in at 8 o'clock in the morning and say, I'm leaving. I'm driving to Chicago. I'll be back on Monday. But I got to get this guy that came to like visit me like to Chicago. And I explained to him what happened. And it's like, all right, cool. Because I was a good teacher. They let me go. I drive him from Houston. We stop like in Missouri. Then we get to Illinois, Chicago. 27-hour drive. At like 10 o'clock that Friday morning, the viewing of the body was at 1. Like we barely made it at time. Saturday, I can't go to the funeral, even though I'm the person that made sure he got there. That's her only child, might I add. He's her only child. But
Girl.
baby mama is there with the kids. And he has a 2 year old. And I'm the new chick from Houston. They just told
Child.
I'm the Uber driver that just drove across America. That's it. But he has a plane ticket for that.
For one,
Yeah, he's a plane ticket for that day. But remember, he's supposed to be leaving from Houston, coming to where we are. And he's already there.
you was a ride or die.
From day one. Like, we hood country girls. Like, that's why we usually be the ones on Snap and stuff. Like, yeah, it be there. Like, he said,
Ah,
yeah. We be like, yeah, let's go. It's great. So he calls the airline company. He say, like, hey, can I change my ticket? And because, he allowed the documentation or whatever, they let him change his ticket to Tuesday. He gets back in the car with me after the funeral and drives back to Texas with me.
what?
Yeah, because I remember it was a whole situation. Now the lady transpired on Sunday, but we don't find out about it till Tuesday. So because with all that happened in the meantime, in between time,
Wait, 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 wait. Sorry. So how did you feel? just meeting this man, dating him. His mom passes away, and you're the new chick with him. He has a 2-year-old with his baby mama. How did that go at the funeral?
Did I mention she's a Chicago police officer at the time?
Girl, get out of here.
I tell you, somebody really like go find my journals when I'm going to glory, and they gonna make a movie out of it. Like it's crazy.
I bet you know now. Girl, come on in. Like, share, subscribe. She's telling us the story about how she met this man on the Xbox. And honey, his mama done passed away. She the new chick on the block. Go ahead, girl.
So I don't go because I'm respectful because I understand like I literally am new to this situation and I just kind of had to put myself like in the back seat and think about like everybody has a relationship with this woman technically, but me, like I'm the newest to the like I've only been around 4 months, like y'all done now been for years. So I was like, all right, cool. But they pissed off with me because like I said, because I'm the person that, got him here, he riding back with me. So I am now officially persona grata non grata. Like crazy stuff happens. Here comes November for Thanksgiving. So that happens in like Labor Day weekend. November he comes down again to Houston. He flies down to meet me. Cause like I don't realize that like he had his money, but like it's questionable. But I'm a school teacher, from a little country town, and I'm just moving to Houston for like, it's my second year of my job.
Mhm.
Um, and so I'm like, okay, he flies down and he proposes like at the Thanksgiving dinner table. So my mom was like, I don't even know about this, and she country, she from Louisiana. She's like, nah, Ixnay on the Uber stay. All right, cool. But when he comes, I fly back with him. He's like, come, like the Thursday, Friday, Saturday before you have to go back to work. Come back to Chicago with me for a couple of days. But when we get back, someone has broken into his house. And because he's a city boy and I'm a country girl, I go down to Home Depot. I get all the supplies. I get the panes. I replace it. I caulk it up. And then, he was like, you can do all this. I'm like, why can't you?
Y'all raised separately. Y'all was, I mean, differently. I mean,
Like, what is wrong with these people? Okay, so that should have been my first clue. So I'm giving you all the red flags that should have never led me to February
and your
24th.
behind kept thinking it was green. Uh huh.
I'm in a Lambo. I'm speed lane to lane.
Mm-mm-mm.
December comes around. I quit my job. I
Girl,
don't
what?
tell nobody. I pack up a whole U-Haul. Don't tell nobody. I stopped at my mama house on my way out of town.
You quit your job to go live with this man?
Yes, the U-Haul was packed when I stopped at my mama
Ma'am,
house.
how old were you?
26 maybe.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. You were 26.
Yeah, 26.
Oh,
I,
that's what I said. What? Quit your job?
yeah, 60,000. Well, brother was 20 years ago. Teacher probably maybe about 50,000 a year, full insurance benefits, all that. They like me. They love me. I like. I was
That you know says after how long y'all was dating that you quit your job then moved to Chicago.
6 months.
Girl, get out of here.
We met in like May.
Raylan, you hear this?
Now you know why I'm so crazy. Like the universe has sent me some characters, and that's why I said the
I'm,
universe.
I'm,
If you want
you
me flying,
know,
I'm gonna lose my freedom.
I'm listening to this like it is a strawberry letter on the Steve Harvey Morning Show, and I'm just waiting for the part where I call in to say, Steve and Shirley, thank you for reminding me. My life may not be everything, but at least it's not bad. So y'all continue to tell the story. I'll wait to call in to be thankful for my life. Y'all go right ahead.
Oh, Raylan, do you have any questions for her pro up to this point?
Um, first of all, like how are the brain cells still forming a brain after all that? Because I would have to mentally switch off
She said,
all of my life. Just quite frankly, this is the thing. Like when I said earlier about dating, and saying that if you are in peace, then stay in peace. But if you're going to give your peace over to somebody, they need to be in peace as well.
uh-huh.
That's a real serious thing, because what I've seen from these, dating shows like the Never Ever Mets and Ready to Love and the Bachelor and Bachelorette,
Hmm.
everybody wants the fantasy, but nobody wants the responsibility of the reality. What I mean? That's why I'm never gonna go on The Bachelor, because it will be the realest season ever. Because I'm like, what the hell we doing eating caviar? Where's the damn catfish and Louisiana hot sauce? And why are all these women skinny? I asked y'all for all thick women this season. What the hell is wrong?
Tired of the food and the fluid. The
It would
food
be the
and the
real
fluid.
exactly. It would be the realest season ABC has ever had. And Jesse Palmer, because he is a white man, would not understand me at all. I would be like, you know what, Jesse, go take a vacation. I know you got a new baby at home, I'm going to be the first dual host and contestant in Bachelor history on ABC. Yep, I'm hosting it and being a contestant. Yep,
That man
correct.
is a walking, talking Meg lawsuit, Meg photographer lawsuit. I'm telling y'all, that somebody gonna be trapped in a
Okay,
movie vehicle somewhere.
first of all,
Trapped
listen.
in a movie vehicle somewhere, and it's gonna
Let's,
be sports and
listen,
food everywhere.
listen. Let's not speak that over my life in Jesus' name. Yes, yes, yes. Amen, amen, amen. But no, seriously,
Amen. We're gonna
I'm
rebuke
joking.
that.
Listen, I'm joking about me hosting and being a contestant, but I think we often ask for the real in our reality, but I don't think really anybody is ready to receive it. You know what I mean? And
Well,
I think
It's scripted reality. It is not real reality. It is very
exactly,
scripted reality.
exactly. So I think we have to do better at ourselves. Of is the reality we're asking for? Can we handle the responsibility? Because that's what my friends said to me. I never really thought about it this way. Every blessing that we have asked God for, we always know how to ask, but we're never ready to receive the responsibility. And when that was said to me,
ooh,
I'm just
really
like, you know
no
what?
trust.
Sit with that
Okay,
one.
all
Sit with
right. You got a good point because I've asked for some things and it wasn't time for me. So, just
Something just happened to me recently, and I had to realize that I asked for something. God said, "There you go," because He says, "Not now, yes or no." And when it happened, I was like, God, if you would have gave it to me then, I would have ruined it. You know better. So go ahead, Brayden. Let's let her carry on.
Oh, Braylon, know I carry my tambourine with me everywhere I go.
I
I'm a
know
church
you
girl.
from down south.
listen.
That's the baby tambourine. That's not even mine, y'all. The
Oh,
baby one.
Go ahead now. Tell us you done quit your job after meeting this man online on an Xbox for 6 months.
And we getting married in Las Vegas. Yeah, go ahead on. Call the people at Lifetime. Tell Carlisha.
Oh my
Tell
hang on,
Carlisha.
hang on one second. Wait, so
I'm in Houston.
you quit your man for somebody playing on Xbox and he never played in your Xbox in real life? Okay, go ahead with the story.
Oh no. He was down to all the boxes. All the boxes. He checked them
Okay,
all. He saw
okay,
them all. He checked them all. He inspected
okay,
them all, and they were all in decency and in order.
okay. All right.
There was
Go
decency in
ahead.
order. That's how I ended up with the ring on my finger. I was down there being decent and in order
Oh my goodness.
regularly, frequently, generously. Did I
Yeah.
did I give forth out of my bosom unto men? So
Bet you know now say chill a mess.
I
Go
will
ahead
never
and get
cast
a
my
whole
pearls before
free.
swine. I don't want your beauty. I'm gonna keep my ashes. Okay. I burnt it all down and I'm just gonna rule over here and play in the ashes and make soap. Okay, that's what you need to make soap. You need lye.
Oh my goodness.
That's how
Oh
dry
my
I
God.
am. That's how country I am. I know how to make old school soap like Laura Ingalls did them on the prairie. So my mom's mad with me because I have just literally like when I say I packed my stuff in my apartment and like I passed by her house, like where she lives on the other side of town, is we are literally leaving out of town. Like my mom collapses in the kitchen. Like she's just overwhelmed. Like, okay, like I knew the dude wanted to marry you, but like you didn't say like tomorrow. Like this, what's wrong with your watch, girl? So she, her birthday is like 3 weeks after Christmas. So she's hot. Like she literally don't talk to me till her birthday. My birthday is 3 weeks after hers. So by my birthday, we're planning a full-fledged wedding. I'm here to fly back from Chicago because now I live there to Houston to fit in dresses, to do invitations. And the reason we picked Las Vegas is my granny who just made transition. She had two brothers and a sister that lived out there. So if I get married in Las Vegas, that forces everybody to go and basically get a mini family reunion in Las Vegas. You get a trip plus a wedding, and you see
Still thinking about the family. Okay.
still helping everybody else with my own goofy self.
So bet you know now ask how long did y'all stay married?
6 years,
How much children you guys have?
one. I only do that one time.
Okay. Bet you know now says what was the age difference between you and your husband?
9 months. My birthday's in February. His is in November, and on the exact same day,
February what?
6th. I'm an Aquarius.
Oh, girl, my birthday February 4th. My sister's February 6th.
You are 6'9". My niece is the third. I'm the sixth, and my sister-in-law is the ninth. And my granny, who just made transition on the 14th, was Valentine's Day, baby. So you understand how hard my February was when I had
Yeah.
mine on the 6th. She's on the 14th, so we barely got a chance to party for her. And then by the 23rd, third, you know, she's an ancestor. So like my February was trash, worst birthday ever.
Man.
So in the meantime and in between time, what I also didn't understand was that he was also an alcoholic. Yeah, that was the other red flag I forgot to drop in there.
So you saw, so how, okay. Girl, keep going with the story. Lord.
So we get married. Now I got to tell you the story of my wedding only because my best friend has made me promise because of the HE Hosky 6. I put her through that 48 hours that I could never tell this story without giving her credit where it was due. So we fly to Las Vegas. My family's in from Houston. My best friend, my cousin are in my wedding. We get to Vegas and I get my hair done. He's late picking me up from the hairdresser. Like I'm out there for an hour at like 10 o'clock at night. Because again, remember, he's a drinker. And I'm thinking he's drinking because his mom died on a Saturday when you went to go meet some rando in Houston on a Friday. And that could be a little traumatic. Like if you just waited one more week to be hot in the pants, like you'd have been there for the whole situation. Like, and so I kind of almost felt like a little guilt because, you know, this is God was gonna do what he was gonna do anyway, and I was gonna get mixed up in this drama anyway. But at the time, at like 26, 27, you're just trying to think like, okay, if I'm any part of like, you know, me with all my little extra phoning with him and, you know, telling him stuff and getting him all in his head that he just rushed down here to get a plane ticket to come to Houston and this lady was already, you know, she was on the clock. And I felt like I kind of just some way had inserted myself in the middle of something that was just way bigger than me. So we get to Vegas, we get married. Um, I don't I'm so angry when he picks me up because like all these beautiful curls and it's like $200 worth of weave and stuff is like now just completely and totally trashed. Like the next morning, we get into a argument in the middle of the street of the strip. Like I'm so angry and I'm yelling at him and he's intoxicated when he comes to pick me up an hour late from the hairdressers. I'm outside Jesse Penney's. I'm like, I'm crying. I call my best friend. I'm like, I'm going to jail. And she's like, where are you? I was like, I'm still at the hairdresser. She's like, it's
So
10:30. I'm like, yeah.
at no time did your woman intuition kick in and says you're in danger.
Yeah, when we was like in the middle of the strip, like we left the place where I got my hair done at the JC Penney's, and as we're driving back to the hotel. Like anybody who ever been to Vegas, if you go to Hilton, that's all strip. That's where I was going. And as we're going there, we turn to the thing, and I'm so angry, and I'm yelling and I'm screaming. I put the car in park. We go from drive to park. I just leave the rental car. I'm just saying my car. I put it in park, and I tell him the wedding is off, and I get out and I walk to the hotel.
Let me I would like for you to answer some of these comments.
Oh,
So
sure.
Rose,
Go ahead.
huh?
Go ahead. Read the questions. Yeah, I'm willing.
Rose says, and this, when is his birthday? It's November what?
Six. We're the six.
November 6th. Okay. Bet you know now says, was his family supportive of this marriage?
It was kind of like 50-50 because he had been like semi problematic. You know, he was a hustler. He was a street dude from Chicago. We lived off 115th and House there. Like when you see the things about Chirac, like I lived there. Like Church Street, if you really see anything about the original Chicago gangs, his grandmother lives there to this day. Like, you know, praying that, you know, she's not an ancestor yet.
He also,
Um,
sorry not to cut you off. Were you close to any of his family? Didn't nobody
the
warn you?
mama. That's the one who liked me was the mama.
And she didn't warn you?
No, now because we'd only been together like 3-4 months, and then she was gone. So the one person that did like me, who had all the information that could have gave it to me, was gone, and then the people that were there with the information weren't going to share with me because I was an outsider.
Hey, healthy care workers, welcome to the chat. Please help like and come on in. So we have community here explaining to us how she met her ex-husband on Xbox, married him, had one child. Crazy enough, she quit her job and moved it to Chicago within 6 months. Okay, let's go on with the story.
So security come out there, we tripping. I'm all upset. They tell us separate for the night. So when we get ready to get married the next morning, my best friend is like, "Look, you done spent all this money. Like you have a reception planned at the MGM with Emerald Lagasse's wedding. I mean, you know, with the whole wedding thing. Like you didn't pay a lot of money for this show. People pay a lot of money for this. Like, are you just mad at him because he was late, or like?" In my heart, I was like, no, it's like it's some other stuff going on, but like I didn't gathered all these people here. We didn't this cake, and I got a dress. Man, my dress was so far. I'm like, what do we? So she was like, okay, do you think you can go through it? I was like, yeah, cool. So we do. He's drunk at the wedding. I don't have any. I
The
don't think
wedding day, he's drunk. But you
he's
know
supposed
what,
to
girl,
be
you crazy. You met this man 6 months,
at this
left
point, it's
your
8 months.
family, moved to Chicago to the war zone,
To the wardrobe.
and then you did not pay attention to your woman intuition. Braylon, do you have any questions for her as of right now?
I mean, this was in Vegas. I, oh,
No, ma'am.
you know what? No comment. Go ahead.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. You get to the wedding. He's drunk. Okay,
He's
let's
drunk.
go.
And so, unfortunately, my uncles, because we country, like they start pouring them drinks because you're getting married to my niece. They're excited,
Making the situation worse.
idiots. That's what I'm telling y'all. Like, somebody go find this journal, y'all, and they gonna be like, so we get to the venue, like we do it, like he's literally like on our wedding pictures. Like, he looks kind of, he's hugged up on me. Now he's a big guy too. He's 6'3". He's every bit like 285. I'm like 5'9". I'm like this size. I've always been. So there's all these this little woman with this big old dude. And everything goes off without a hitch. Well, fast forward to the pregnancy. I'm pregnant with our first child. She's going to be born in January of 2009. So this is like November of 2008. And the cop, person from the funeral, sends now my very married husband of like 3 years at this point a inappropriate video of her mid coitus with another person, and he's just sitting there watching it over and over because he got a
Girl,
pregnant wife, and she's not, and she's attractive, and
girl,
so that ends in no, he's just watching her video that she sent him. We're in Texas now. We done moved back to Texas. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, part of the red flags
hey, you
that I
don't
should.
say you're moving back to Texas.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So we get married. Let me stop there before I get to the kid. We get married. The first week I'm in Chicago, like the very first week. Like remember, I moved it's December. I quit my job and I'm in the U-Haul. We get to his house and I'm seeing the location. It's 115th and Halstead. Feel free to go Google the map and look at the houses. Yes, that's where I stayed. I should have been like concerned then because like this is January. I still have a chance to call this foolish. Just we go to get ice cream. When we come back, there's a drive-by on our block. I'm from a small Texas town. I didn't know what was going on. So as we pull in, there's a car sitting in like this area that has like their park lights on. And as soon as we like pass through the little cut and when we pull up in our driveway and I'm getting ready to get out with my ice cream and little stuff, he said, "Nah, Jay, just chill." I was like, "What are you talking about, dude? Like, nah, something ain't right." And sure enough, you hear the ear screeching out of the car. They're targeting a person that's probably like three houses down. So it wasn't targeted us. We would just have to be there quiet to make sure, we're in our car until like the noise passes. And then, so like, yeah, that happened the first week I was there,
So he put your life in danger.
just by the address that I had, literally. And,
So
and how I moved back to Texas is another incident with weapons left a perfect hole that went through the windshield and into the headrest. And at that point, I just found out I was expecting. I found out I was expecting for Mother's Day in May. That happened in July. I was gone 2 weeks later because at that point I had been through so much that when that happened, I was like, okay, dummy,
okay,
it's this
you
thing
you
gone.
you eventually saw, I guess, a yellow flag. So bet you know now asks, what was the rush to marry? Were you under pressure to get out of your parents' house?
The pressure to get married was I was the youngest of five. I have four brothers. I'm the only girl. I'm the youngest, and I was the only one not married with no kids in a big Southern Black Christian
So
family.
you felt pressured. Did they mention that to you? Did you feel like, oh, you're ready to settle down and have a family? Because I want to remind you, I know you was only 26. I'm gonna give you that. You met a man online who could have been a killer.
Period. Period. With a criminal record already. Period. Multiple criminal records. Yeah, like if I had just done a simple Google search on his first and last name, which I would eventually have to come to do behind some other things with the baby mama, because of course, you go to court because I was like, oh, you got a woman now. Da, 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 da. Yeah. So I could have like literally. So that's what caused me to move home. Like I was never clearly I didn't want to protect myself, but once I had a new life inside of me, I guess that last incident and it literally left a perfect hole in my headrest. There was police tape across my car. I was late to work that day because basically it was like two houses over, but because there had been like random ones that went into cars and trees anywhere it went, they had to yellow tape it off, and that was it for
So
me.
Have you dated online since your
Never
divorce?
again. Never again. The next man I met and married, I met at a barbecue eating
Oh,
brisket.
how long were you guys married?
The second time around, I learned that time only 2 years.
2 years. So why was your picker off on the second one?
My picker was off on the second one because coming out of the first one, I figured I had picked wrong because I was desperate. I was the only one that didn't have kids and a husband, and everybody's, doing this stuff at the holidays, and I just wanted to be with it. And he needed a family, and I wanted to be a part of a family. So I kind of got why my picker was off on that one. The second time, I married an arc. Like I was love bombed into like oblivion. Like I'm talking about
That'll do it.
park. We went to ride horses in the park. He bought my favorite hardcover books. I'm a nerd. I'm a teacher. So could you imagine somebody showing up with like, $150 worth of books? Like, he wasn't like no regular dude that's gonna buy like flowers and candy. He actually listened. Like he stood in line one time on Valentine's Day and made the woman dip my strawberries fresh and only put the toppings on them that I wanted. I thought that was the most. He was so attentive to detail. No, he's a control freak and he wanted that stuff exactly the way he wanted it. And he
Wow.
probably gave them people unholy but Jesus doing it. But I don't know because I'm at work and I'm just excited because he showed up at the job and my all my strawberries is just like I like them. I don't have to throw nothing away. I ain't got to worry about that candy where you just take about. No, but my stuff is all right. I got white lilies because that's my favorite flowers when I get home. Oh, I got the thing the second time around, and
I
then
did have another question for you. So how long was the courtship? I guess answer for both marriage one and two. How long was the courtship before the marriage?
question before the marriage for marriage number one was only 8 months from meeting to getting married. 8 months. Question number two from marriage to meeting to marriage was probably 2.5 years.
Mm.
Okay. So y'all dated for a little bit. Braylon, do you
Yeah,
have any questions?
yeah. It seems to me that both of the circumstances were a culmination of where am I in life? What
Mm-hmm.
am I receiving out of life?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, your reality plus your mental kind of came to a collision from what I'm hearing. Um,
Exactly.
and I say that with love because I think we've all been there where our reality and how we feel, our mental clashes. You know what I mean? Because when you said that, it's Emerald Lagasse and, this big hall, I'm just like, I pray to God I'm never in that situation with a friend of mine where they were supposed to get married and this whole kid and caboodle is just disintegrated. Now, of course, with me, I know how to take the microphone and be an MC and make and find the funny in it. But in the same token, it's hard to find the funny when your commitment is not funny. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's why I'm sensing so
So
far.
if you were friends with her at that time, referring to the first marriage, would you have told her not to marry him?
Yeah, it was some kind of FOMO. And it was actually more like I was left out because I was the only one. Like, and I mentioned that they're 8 years older. Like, the youngest brother and closest in age to me is like 8 years older than me. Like, I have a niece that is like 10 months. Her birthday's like 3 weeks after his. So she's like 11 months, basically, younger than me. Like, that's how big the age gap is.
Oh, see, I didn't even know what that was. Well,
Yeah,
thank you.
fear of missing out, FOMO. Yeah. It was.
So, how do you feel about the new show? Can you relate to them? How do you feel about it? Are you watching it?
I am addicted. I am all in. Number one, because the one thing I can say is he was crazy, but he wasn't a coward. He got on the plane. He jumped out the window. He's like, that girl down there, take some boy, get some of that gumbo. Like, come on down. So I kind of understand how you get into a situation where, like, when I tell you before he came to Houston, he was like, he was everything. Like, I woke up to this man on my phone wishing me love you, do all day. This was before Uber Eats and stuff. So he would sometimes call with a credit card. No telling where the credit card came from. And like pay for my dinner. So like when I got off from work, I could go by, Antonio's Italian restaurant, and like we would go grocery shopping together. We would literally be on the phone together in movies. Like I would pick stupid movies that we would go see together. Like he was such a part of my everyday existence. I see how people block out the real world. I see how you can be so digitally enmeshed that IRL is in non-existence. It's a non-factor.
Wow. My laptop is about to die, so I'm gonna try to log in to
Just to
oh
trust me. Once I have a kid with you and you ain't right, I'm gone.
oh okay, so she has one child. So you have one child.
I have one from the first marriage and one from the second. So there's 16.
Oh, okay. Now
Yeah,
Braylon.
Yes.
Miss Community, you can ask them too. So you said your last relationship was a year and a half ago. How
Hmm.
long was that relationship?
It was. It was about. I think. Let me see. I think it was about 6 months or so, but it's been a full year since then. Um, and this is the thing, and I will be completely honest. Her last relationship, it was some trauma to it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Let
you're
me
good.
hold on.
she's
Okay.
switching. It's cool.
My laptop's gonna die and I'm gonna just
Switch out. You got it.
continue on my phone. But go ahead, Braylon. So
Yes, there was some trauma to that, and that was a learning curve for me. Not so much in a bad way, but um, a learning curve in terms of emotionality. And I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and we talked about good guys versus bad guys, and I asked my friend like, why in the world do good guys finish last? And they were like, well, it's not that they finish last, but they don't get noticed as much as they deserve.
oh my
Because
goodness.
when you try your best to love somebody when they haven't been loved, that is the hardest test because you're being genuine, you being you, but because they're not used to it, you have to take the brunt of it. And so one of the big things for our relationship was she wanted me to post her to Facebook.
Yeah, I
Um,
would do it. Yeah. No,
now,
it's
now,
not here.
now, now, with me, this is what I said to her. I really could give two damns about Facebook because I believe that I should be loving you in real life
Thank you.
because a post is just a post.
It
But
is.
if but if I'm not loving you and you're not loving me, then that post is going to be shit. And so when I
Mhm.
said to her that I didn't really feel that excited to post to Facebook, she felt that I wasn't excited to post her. And I had to say to her plenty of times, like, it's not that at all. Like, were the messages lovely? Absolutely. Like, to see all my family and friends happy for me when I'm happy for the people, that's a good feeling, right? But there are people who are
Right,
not in
right.
your corner all the time. So I didn't want people to say, who is she? Where she come from? Because you already know my mouth. And if I love you, I love you. And if somebody comes against you, they're coming against me. So I didn't want that. You understand? So we recently,
The looky loos. You know it's looky loos everywhere lurking. You know that.
exactly
For
right.
some reason, that you know what's crazy, because I had a conversation with the person that I'm currently talking to, and he mentioned something about the good guy, bad guy. He was like, "Why does women always go for the bad guy?" Because he was single for a while after his divorce too, and he says that one of the people that he was just talking to, but it wasn't official yet, she left him alone because she said he's just too good to be true.
And
But thank you,
sometimes
sis.
sometimes you can block your
Where they do
own
that at?
blessings
Where
by
they do
not
that at?
sometimes you can block your own blessings by not believing that you deserve it.
Thank you, girl. Hill. He is
Real,
good, and you are good. You are his good and
real
perfect thing.
talk.
Girl Hill.
Real
Yeah.
talk. So when it came to me and her, we went to the aquarium and she wanted me to post some pictures from the aquarium. I'm just like, listen, I'm just happy to be here with you. I'm that old school of a dude. My dad, he only has social media to connect with friends and family. My mom, she can't stand social media.
So let me ask you, was it a thing that for you that you
Hmm.
were not ready to post, or you just wanted the relationship to grow organically?
Sure. I
outside of social
want the
media.
sure. I want the relationship to grow organically with us and find our footing before posting to the world. Because once you post to the world, it's not true. It's not. There's no safe space. And like I said before, my dad, he only has social media to connect with his family and friends. My mom can't stand social media. But yet they support me in my media career. The only thing they ask me to do is just to protect the family. This is your assignment. This is the career you chose. This is the thing that you invested in. We support you, but you also have to support us. And I understood that. And so I bring up my mom and dad because they're so old school. They've been married for I think 20 going on 25 years now,
That's a
over
blessing.
2 decades. It is. And so, I pull from them and I pull from my village of when you are minding your business, you have business. I'm gonna say that two more times. When you're minding your business, you have business. When you're minding your business, you have business. So me and my ex recently, let the church say amen. So recently, me and my ex reconnected, and she said, Braylon, I just want to say sorry to you. I totally understand why you wanted us to be private. Not because you did not love me, but because you did love us. And I'm like, that's all I was trying to do.
So what
I'm
happened
that
is,
old school.
Welcome to the chat, sis. Welcome to the chat.
so are you willing to date her again?
I am willing to date her again with a new purpose. Because to use an old scripture,
Good.
not to be a pastor, but you can't put new wine in old wineskins.
You cannot.
And I think sometimes when it comes to exes breaking up, now if your ex was a itch or a Mitch and they did you wrong, you have every right to block that negativity out your life.
Of
Uh,
course.
but I think sometimes the reason why some exes are exes is because y'all did not grow into your personalities as individuals, and you need time to elevate apart so you can elevate together. And I think that's what happened with me and her. So nothing is set in stone.
But
Um,
you're open. That's the good thing.
absolutely, I'm open. And she said something to me that I really embraced. She said, Braylon, the career you're going into is loud. I'm just like, yeah, I mean, this mouth is very blessed and gifted, and this soul and body is gifted to do many things. But with that being said, when she said a quiet life, she wants to be able to do what she wants to do and have peace in it. And I said to her, I want you to
Well,
know,
she's
even
coming
though,
back a different person then.
well, no, absolutely. And what I said to her was, even though my life may be loud, I decide what's quiet in my life. I'm gonna say that two more times.
Ooh, that'll
Even
preach
though
the
my
sermon.
life may be loud, I decide what's quiet in it. Even though my life may be loud, I decide what's quiet in it. So you don't have to be the extrovert. Let me be me. I got you for you because watch this, everybody. I'm gonna use Tamar and Vince for example. You should marry your person to be your something, not your everything.
Oh yeah.
You should marry your person so they can be your something, not your everything. You should marry your person so they can be your something, not your everything. I'm marrying my wife for her to be my something. I don't need you to be my manager.
Preach.
I don't need you to be my manager. I need you to be my investor,
Let me tell
and I'll be
you.
your investor.
Wow. You
Okay.
just you just said a mouthful, because
We will be picking up collection at the end of the stream.
okay. That's great, like you used to. So okay, we got healthcare workers that said fear is real for some folks. When they are too good to be true, they feel that if they drop their guard and get strong, it is detrimental and devastatingly traumatic. Some never want to feel that hurt again. Now let
No,
me tell you, a healthcare worker, I don't know if you're on here longer. That was one of the reasons after I got divorced that I recently started dating, that I remained single, because I know when I fall. I don't I date to love the person for real. And even this young lady who stopped talking to him before, even though I feel that I am very much healed, I even was like thinking, this he's a good dude. I can't believe I met a good dude on a blind date that a friend set up. I just wanted me a little German Shepherd. I planned on never dating again. I planned on never marrying again. I love my house. And when my kids are not here, when they're in Georgia with my ex-husband, it's even better. It's even better. So yeah, that is very true.
Bye bye now, kids. You be good, you hear?
Look,
I be like,
look,
bye.
and let
I'm
me say this.
tell me when y'all get there.
Right.
Right?
Let me say this to Bet you know now. Even though even though she was broken and afraid, she recognized that within herself. And I think we also have to recognize that we all are damaged and afraid in some shape, form, and condition. But just
Yes.
because we are, that doesn't mean we're trying to stay that. So I
Right,
just wanted
right.
to give that context. And I know Bet you know now was not just saying that to say that. I sincerely felt nothing but love from that comment because it was a learning moment for you and for me and for all of us. But I just want to give that context that she is going through her work. And I think,
It's a journey.
yeah, exactly. And,
Journey.
I think also, too, we have to recognize the totality of a person has to be different than just moments with a person.
Wow. Say that again, brother.
Really, we have to be able to look at somebody's totality rather than moments,
My God.
because honestly, if we really want to be honest, the scripture of he or she who has not sinned cast the first stone, we have all had some moments where everyone had the right to turn us away, but thank
Hmm.
God we have our totality to redeem us.
We have grace.
And that
You
brings me back to my story.
yeah.
We have to use the totality of our senses when we're getting into these things. I was listening to the things he was saying, but I was seeing him falling down. I saw him pee in the kitchen thinking it was the bathroom. Like he was that bad of an alcoholic. Had
Mm.
I committed to all of my senses, not just the ones that I like to use, my mouth in the morning, had I
And
believed
you
in
say I'm a
myself,
heathen, I don't want to ever hear this shit again. Go ahead with your
sir,
story.
I'm an old lady and I'm an elder. I am 37 seconds away from Social Security. Don't go there, sir. Do not. 30 seconds away from Social Security. I'm a
So you really, so what are you gonna, are you willing to date again?
never, never.
So you
I
think
do
that
my
you
time.
were
Like
hurt
I feel like
that bad
yeah,
that
I feel like it's like prison now. Like I low key feel like my celibacy, and I tell people that, and they like that's such a horrible way to think about it. I'm like, but if you're in a place, it's almost like Schindler's List or the Stockholm syndrome. Like if you're in a bad place and you can find a way to get through it, like then you just find a way to get through it. And I exercise, and I've got these businesses, and I'm raising these children, and I got elderly parents, and it's so much fullness in my life. Like you, I'm 10 toes all the way down. Like we did some stuff that I'm glad the statute of limitations is over. Okay,
well,
girl.
let me ask you, but you know, and I'm only talking like this because I have literally opened my heart a few months ago to allow someone to, he literally told me, let me love you. I'm like,
That part.
Girl, I ain't got time for that stroke, girl. I'm gonna be all down to the cardiac care unit, girl. You got to call the
it's
people at
not
your
a, because one thing about me, I'm kind of like you. If something is going on, I gotta fix something. I'm gonna go to Home Depot. I got my ladder. I got my nails. I got everything I need, and I'm gonna
I got
fix
a sander, a drill back here. Like I'm a country girl. So and that's the other thing too. I'm a fixer. We're empaths. So not only do I feel what you're going through, I also have all
it.
this creativity and capacity to do.
I was you just a few months ago who said I was just gonna get a dog, and I've been single 7 years, and I refuse today. And all of a sudden, this person comes into my life who treats me well, and I just want to do everything on my. Hey, Nikki News and
Hey,
Nurse.
Nikki.
So even though you say that, you don't know what God's plan is for you.
And that's why we were talking earlier. Like, Lord, let me want what you want. But that's a
Yeah,
process of
that's
breaking down those walls. That's a process of letting Him take the pieces and putting them back together. The potter wants to put them back together. Yeah, shout out to Jermaine Hawkins on the other side, kissing my grandma. Um, So it takes a while for the potter to put the pieces back. I think about the lady with the oil. She had to
Yes.
go all up and down the street to collect those vessels. She had to make neighbors
Yes.
trust her to give them they empty jars, knowing this woman is on the way. Look, I know this lady. The fact that her and that little boy been making it this long, everybody on the street probably been wondering. So when she comes up asking for these empty jars, and this is somebody that they know is like 37 seconds away from going dance with Peter at the gates, like what is she talking about? And he just tells her, that's all right, just go get as many as you can. And when you start pouring this oil, you're gonna not only pour enough to make sure that this ain't the last loaf of bread you ever make for you and your son, you're gonna make so much that you will be able to sell the excess
Live
and
off
clear
it.
off your debt.
But
So
let
I'm
me,
in the process of just collecting jars from my neighbors. That's how I look at it.
and
Some
you
people give me
should.
some. He gonna
I
give me
think
more. I'm just collecting jars from my neighbors.
you should never give up hope. And even though you remain single and abstinent, just like I was, because listen, I'm not far from where you was. Okay, this has only been a few months. I believe that as women, we go into relationships to love. We don't go into relationships for 6 months, 1 year, whatever. We when we find our person, what we assume to be our person, we go in wholeheartedly. And I was wounded. I was hurt. I was bitter. I was broken. And even in my healed part, I was just like you. I said I would not date. And all of a sudden, this happened. So when I started praying, even though I didn't really care for a spouse, I've always said, God, what is in your will for me? And heal me that if you send me my mate, that I don't bleed over him. You get what I'm saying? I know that if you have somebody for me, he's on the potter's wheel.
Yes, and that's the whole point. Like I want to be the kind of person that comes in to be the 10%. You should come in as a 90 and I should come in as a 90. And what we bring to each other is that 10. I shouldn't walk into a restaurant like don't go in the grocery store starving, baby. Like you gonna buy all the wrong things. You're gonna be on the cookie aisle eating the grapes, you know what I'm saying? The security watching you. So I wanna go into a restaurant full. So when I get the menu, I'm not gonna act like I'm starving. Oh, I'm 46. Oh girl, I am blessed. I will tell anybody that. Like I made it. I
You
made it
too.
past
So you out here
high.
joking with damn Braylon. You only 3 years older than me. Talking about you old. Healthcare worker said, "Oh, chill. The number seven is real. You hear me? Same. 7 years. Chill, yo. The tribe. Don't better louder know that Rocky. Let me tell you, 7 years. 7 years. Single,
That's the
abstinent,
number.
and let me tell
No,
you,
the number of completion. If you know, for all of those in the faith
yes,
tradition, it's the number of completion.
yes.
It's also the number
Braylon,
that will give you rest.
Braylon. Hey, bet
Yes.
you know Braylon and Rose. Hey,
Hey, there
girl.
it is.
Hey. So,
But no, I feel like he because I am a loving person. I'm a generous person. I'm a giving person. I volunteer at the church. I play the piano. I work with the kids. So I do believe that at some point he is going to make it so to where I have to come out of this shell. Like he's not going to. Like
yeah,
God is not going to allow me to stay in this space for forever. Like I said,
yes.
I met old dude, the second dude, sitting at a barbecue. Like I wasn't out there down to like the girl was cooking and she was best friends with my coworker, and my coworker said, "Hey, I'm going to this barbecue." I was like, and there was this chocolate thing across the room.
Girl, I love chocolate.
Not you going to a barbecue eating on some meat and then you see
The bark on that brisket, the bark on that brisket, and see that's a southern conversation. If you don't know about bark and brisket, just drop down in the chat. We'll explain to you. Like the bark on that brisket was perfect. The
uh-huh.
smoke rings,
Oh my goodness.
I bet it was. I bet it was.
blessed be, and that's how I ended up, with the
So
second.
Braylon, sorry, Braylon, I do hope that you and your person works out and see how it goes, because now you guys are coming back with a different mind frame. And even for you, Braylon, you know what I'm saying, you're coming back with more grace for her healing.
Absolutely.
um so Rose says, I agree, you will meet your true mate. Yeah, I believe you will. And
And I
even
think for Braylon, he's 30. That's a good age for men
so
to
young.
finally. Yeah, because it's not even about a freak off or not a freak off. You was out there doing your coming to America business or whatever. This is about you you being a settled human being. It's about a lot of the insecurities that we carry out of our teens and our 20s. Once we settle into our careers and stuff, we become just a better, for lack of a better term, a person with more patience, a person with more empathy, a person with a
Yes.
longer view of life. So you get to understanding that, like, my plans ain't got to be for the weekend for, like, who's starting at 10 o'clock, and do I need to be there before 11:30 when with the well drinks go out special. Like, now you're thinking about, okay, where am I going to be in 5 years? So, like, the way you shift your time time management in your own mind and in your own life becomes very different. And so now it's not like, okay, I need her to do this right now. Like, she ain't got this, she ain't got this. It's like, no, we're building, we're
Yeah.
moving.
Very, very, very what you said makes a lot of sense. And even from you talking right now, I know you're not the same person even from your second marriage. So I do believe that as we grow, we learn from our mistakes. There's certain red flags that let me tell y'all. I married my husband and I call him a narcissist junior or Martell Jr. This man does not believe in God. I had no business marrying him as a Christian.
I got married at the courthouse the second time. I told you, too many hotels. Married at the courthouse.
Girl, Braylon, are you and her still friends?
Yes, we are still friends to this day. And people always say you need to have a friendship first before you get into a relationship. And I think, and she even asked, "Do I have a girlfriend?" And I'm like, "No, I know. It's not because of you. I just been on my grind. I'm sorry, I just made it to 2,000 subscribers and we passed 100,000 views. So I've been hustling. You know what I mean?
Yay!
So thank you, thank you. But no, seriously, I think sometimes too you have to understand that everything has a reason or a season, right? And like I said, if we get back together, we get back together. If we don't, we don't. But I think the biggest thing is as long as the energy is there to care for that person. That's the most important thing. Because if you don't care about that person, there's no chance to get back together or even the possibility if you don't care about that person. You know what I mean? Um,
I get it.
and that's just real talk. And I remember when we broke up, I said to her, if you find somebody, I just want him to treat you right. Because even though we ain't together, I still care about you. So if you tell me something going on, I'm gonna have to step in, and vice versa with me. And that's only because I matched the energy of what was needed for her, and she matched the energy for me, and we respected what we brought to each other's lives. So for that commitment, we're always going to have each other's back. But not everybody has that mindset, though. You know what
No,
I mean?
no,
Um,
they don't. It's
it,
most people are
it,
selfish, and then when you hurt them, they go off the deep end and act up.
absolutely, you cannot expect you out of the people,
My
right?
mama used to tell me that all the time, baby. They not you.
No, absolutely. And you know what? I will say this too. I think when it comes to trying to pursue somebody, I think sometimes we don't appreciate the process of getting to know someone.
Right.
Really, really don't. Like for example,
Agree.
a very beautiful content creator, Up at the Unicorn. I think she is absolutely fabulous. Her
Oh, she is so
commentary is out of this
gorgeous.
world, and Uppity makes me smiley. It can make me smiley in more ways than one. But
Ooh.
in the same token, though, I believe that the best way to get to know someone is to invest in them.
Okay.
And so, even though I have that thought, that doesn't mean she has to have that thought. And I think
Is she
us
aware?
men, say that again.
Is she aware?
I've in the live chats, I've said uppity makes me smiley, and she said handsome Braylon before. So we
Black
wordplay is
Rock,
a good
we,
word.
putting her on the list of people to have a background check on. Keep going.
Lord help. Wordplay is a space that we are in. But
Okay.
and I'm saying this with all love if she does hear this. To me, what I find attractive about woman is the strength of knowing who she is. Having how she cares about people, how she allows herself to move. And I say allows herself to move, not in terms of getting permission for somebody to move, but allowing herself to know that in each space she knows her capacity to take in emotionality. Like I said, I'm a very old school dude. You understand? Like I said, my biggest prayer is for my future wife, whoever that may be. Will I love her, love my career? Absolutely. Will I love to see me be the black Dr. Phil, she be the black Robin, we walk off the talk show together every day? Absolutely. But also, too, I understand that the best way for my queen to thrive is for my queen to thrive for who she wants to be.
What Shawnee told him, baby, I'm married to this man. I ain't no first lady.
That part. So my biggest prayer is I want her to ask me how my soul is doing today. Because if she cares about my soul, she'll care about everything that relates to my soul.
And I think that's a good place where you're at. I really do. I think
Yeah.
you are at a place where you are ready to receive. You are ready to give. Like I say, I'm down here just collecting these oils, thinking that me and my child ain't gonna make it past the night.
You're gonna be all right, okay? You're gonna be all right. So before I bring it to a close, I want to hear your opinion all about dating online. I'm gonna just go ahead and say my piece, and then you can go, and then Braylon can go last. For me, at 43, I will not date a man online. I see that men, yes, girl, it was so very hard. I couldn't bring a Bible in the house. I was unevenly yoked, and I was a baby Christian at that time. I just literally got saved. So it was very hard dating someone who did not believe in God. I will never do that again. I will never be unevenly yoked. So for me, um I feel that men in general, especially black men, because that's the only ones I'm attracted to, can step outside and talk to anybody. Even when y'all have a wedding ring on, Braden, I say y'all because you're a black man. Even when y'all step outside and y'all have a wedding ring on, there's always a person, even if she wants to be a mistress, that's willing to talk to y'all. So I feel it is lame for a man to go online to talk to women. I feel that there's killers. You're being just disingenuous. I just feel that dating online shouldn't be a thing for a man that is serious. That's my piece. Go ahead, community.
I'm actually into the dating online. I do think it's a good way for you to kind of be able to like broaden your horizons. Even though I didn't have the best of luck, but I did wasn't traditional. Clearly, that's why I always tell my story the way it was. But I believe that the universe can use any myriad of tools to send goodness your way. So if you find some random person who's got this weird looking book title in his Tinder profile, and you didn't believe nobody even read that book because that's your favorite book too, that might be your boo.
Okay, Braylon.
I will say this. Um, everything is in the eye of the beholder. But the only way to behold anything is for your eyes to see something, correct? So, to me, when it comes to online dating, I think understand that your eyes deserve to see good and your eyes deserve to reject what you do not want. So I will not say online dating is bad because what is bad for one may be bad for another. Now that also depends on the moves you make. But also to recognize that don't be so deep into virtual reality that you forget your reality and that your blessing can also be in reality. Because on the Never Ever Mets, we see that virtual reality and reality are not the same.
It's not. It's not.
If people on TV are struggling with virtual reality in real life, you can also struggle with it too.
With $1 million
So,
budget behind them.
since I'm going to
Well,
be reviewing the show and you're going to be
yeah,
reviewing the show, I want to ask
absolutely.
Braylon, who do you think is going to make it out getting engaged or
Mm.
married?
So we go through our picks of who we think is going to make it. I also got a chance to watch the latest episode that aired last night, and I'm not going to spoil it for you. I will save my thoughts when we get together and review it again next week. So, thank you for allowing me to share my story of online love and marriage. Thank you to Glam Rocks and Braylon Lee for being such gracious hosts and panel mates. And as always, family, you know I love you. It's a beautiful Saturday wherever you are. So I hope blessings chase you down, trouble never finds your door. There is power and purpose within you. So I need you to level up because the community needs you. If you get a chance to be kind today to someone, please do that. But most importantly, give space for a little grace because there are a lot of people out there hurting. Y'all have a good day, family.